Singlies, welcome back. I'm gonna try and make this video probably on the quick side. I have been very busy as of late, so I don't have a ton of time to do too much other than something quick and simple like this, but that aside, I wanted to talk about a really fun opportunity I got to do, which was go to a Transformers convention, TFCon LA 2023. For those of you who know, I do a Transformers D&D podcast alongside Swerve's Bar podcast. You can find them literally anywhere. And with them and alongside a few other artists, who I'll get to in a minute, we decided to go in and get a Artist Alley booth, so I was able to check off a bucket list item of selling at a convention. It didn't matter if it was Transformers or anime, as long as I get to have a little booth, set up my stuff, and get merch. And obviously it was Transformers themed. It wasn't after me, Demon, but it was me, and then Celeste Doodles, Sparked Soul, who was not an artist, but they were helping out get everything set and help handle money and etc. Lindaxi, and then Grand Galvatron, I think is their name. And everybody except Grand Galva, unfortunately, has social media, and you can find them under those names. I don't think Grand Galva has any social media as of late. I hope that they do. So Grand Galva was selling these beautiful hand-done embroidery. Lindaxi had, I think they had Transformers animated stickers and prints. I'm trying to remember, I think they had a whole bunch of different prints actually. And then Celeste Doodles had Pride Seeker pins. They had Transformers Prime charms. They had a bunch of stuff. And then I had my Transformers Prime charms and stickers and a couple of original things. But it was really, really fun. It was a little stressful just because I had never done it before. So I was kind of rushing to do one thing and then doing another, and then still trying to be polite and courteous to a bunch of people. And thankfully, everyone was really, really nice. I feel like there's always a bad experience when you go to a convention in vending. I feel like that's the stereotype. But everyone was really, really nice. No one tried to haggle. No one looked at it, was like, oh, this is bad, and then walked away. Everyone was polite and courteous, and it was a grand time. Made a fair bit of money, and I still have a bunch of stuff left over that is up on my coffee right now, if you would like. I have some charms, stickers, I have some prints, and I have some original sketches as well. And it was so fun. I didn't get a ton of time to run around the dealer's room or see the other artists' booths, but what I did see, I did like. It was so much fun, and I got to hang out with Swerve's Bar, and I got to hang out with Lapis Dragon of the Arizona Autobots in their Wheeljack costume, and I got to meet Black Arachnia's voice actor, Jeannie. And then I'm spacing on her last name, but I got to take a picture of her because she was really, really nice. And it was just really nice to be able to hang out with friends that we all had a common interest in, and just really enjoy ourselves and have fun. I had never laughed so hard and talked so much, to the point where I woke up in the morning, I was like, my throat kind of is just tuckered out. I don't want to talk very much today, only to do it all over again. And I got to cosplay, sort of, as a human former of my OC Scorchfire, who is on screen presently. It was a little cumbersome to move in, especially in the arms, but it was still so fun, and so many people did such beautiful cosplays, especially Swerve's Bar. They did Earthspark Sound Wave and their version of an Earthspark Sound Blaster, if I'm correct. I'm trying to remember. It was a wild, like 3-4 days. And we stayed up so late every night, come home exhausted and go right to bed. Got some amazing food, got to really just hang out with a bunch of people. It was a really, really good experience, and I am really looking forward to hopefully doing it again next year. For those of you who know, I do live in California currently, and I actually will be moving out of California by fall, so I'll have to see how that works out logistically, financially. But it was so fun. I'm so glad I got to do it. I'm so glad I got to check it off my bucket list. And I have to give a huge shout out to Celeste Doodles for not only helping me get all the merch ordered, but getting it organized and helping with the pre-order and making sure everything was running smoothly. They run I won't say they run a tight ship, but they run it really efficiently and effectively. But they should let me help them a little more next time, I feel like. They're like, no, I'll do it. Which is very, very sweet, but I want to help out. And I couldn't be more appreciative to have such a good first experience, and it's all thanks to them, truly. They were so kind to us, the rest of the artists, and just so nice to everyone else who came by the booth, and just really made it a good time. And with that being said, I want to transition, I guess, into the art a little bit. This I did on stream and I don't have it all recorded, but how do I describe this? This method of rendering is using gradient maps. I'm like trying to remember the terminology used. So what I'm doing is I have to render this whole thing, the whole image, as black and white, and then shade it as if, you know, that was the final piece. Just using black and white values and grays and etc. And then what I do is I select certain areas that I want to be a certain color, and then use a gradient map to make it that color. So if I round off a section that's like her helm, I guess, that's going to be a dark blue. So when you go to the gradient map, you make that middle color a dark blue, and then when you select the white and make it like a light cyan, it's going to take all the light values that are already there in the drawing and make them that cyan color, but then blend it into the blue. And then the same for the darker colors, but it just gets darker. It's a little more easier to understand once it's actually happening, which is toward the end. But this is a really fun exercise for me, because I don't usually do it this way, and the only time I did it was with that villainous piece, and it came out really nicely, because by the time you put all the gradients in, you're sort of done. You have to do very little rendering on top. It's just kind of like, bam, that's it, you're done. Which can be really helpful, but I think this is also a good study in a way to help me understand like what values need to be darker in order for it to actually look darker. But especially for metal, it was tricky to get the colors to look right, because my color theory knowledge isn't fantastic, so I actually did aside take all the colors and do like a multiply and overlay of what I thought the highlights and shadows should be, like the color of them, in order to get the color that would result for the highlights and shadows, and then plug those into the gradient maps and then tweak them from there, which worked for the most part. But then I realized because it's metal, it has to be so much shinier, but I didn't want that highlight to just be white. And then because it's also metal, there has to be like a bounce light, because it's metal, so there has to be like the deepest darkest part has to be like a lighter color than the shadow. It's complex, it's complicated. But it was still worth it because it was really fun. But with that being said, I probably will leave this here. Just let you enjoy some tunes and some music, but I want to really reiterate and really express, with hopefully a bunch of pictures on screen that have already flashed by, that I am incredibly appreciative of the friends I've made that have allowed me to have this opportunity and experience, and to have the ability also financially to go through with this, and then also the fact that I have an opportunity to do it again next year. It was just so lovely. It made my heart all warm and fuzzy. Definitely felt like a moment of belonging, and I'm really appreciative of it. But thank you all so much to those who have supported me, aka Swerve Spar Podcast, aka Celeste Doodles, Lapis Dragon 01, Lindaxi, and Gren Galva, and Spark Soul. I wouldn't be here without you. And before I embarrass myself or fluster myself anymore, I will go. I hope you all have a lovely day, night, or evening wherever you are, and I'll see you soon. I'm hopefully gonna get back into streaming eventually, but we'll see. Bye. Today's video was made possible with the support of my patrons. $5 Ghoul shoutout goes to Lapis Dragon 01 and Kelly. Special shoutout goes to my $20 Demon tier patrons, Mimi Chai and Jay Loves. See you guys next time. Bye!